Here we have the Tackle Club Freshwater Bass and Yellas box for December. I hope you like it. I couldn't do that with more of a serious face, sorry. Righto, let's start off with this one from Hell Yeah Chatterbaits. And hell yeah, these things are great. I love them, been fishing with them for a long time. I normally fish with the weedless hook setup ones, are generally my favorite. But these ones here with the trailer hooks mean that when you do hook up, they don't often spit those hooks on you. So you do land a lot of fish on these. They're brilliantly designed, absolutely love them. If you haven't fished with chatterbaits for bass before, I strongly encourage it. Very snag resistant, so you can let these sink down into the snags and you work your way out. Obviously not snag proof, but things like this are fantastic for chucking up into your fallen timbers, your rock beds, sinking down the side of weed faces, just exceptional in structure. You can use them in open water as well. I've used these on schooled fish at some of my local impoundments as well, just a slow roll with some pauses thrown in around them, works a treat. Now next up from our friends at Rapala, the Balsa Extreme series. This is the BX Brat. So Balsa Extreme is essentially what that stands for. So this is a floating, hard rolling action balsa lure. So it's not going to go too deep. I think it's about 6 foot, so what's that, about 2 meters, maybe a little bit over 2 meters if you're fishing with braid. But something like this is good for trawling around some of those edges where you might have a bit of a drop off from the weed edge. Fantastic for trawling there. Casting, ripping through some vertical timber as well. But something like this being shallow, you don't really want to go trawling it through the deeper water where the fish might be sitting deeper down and the bait's not even going to get down to them. Obviously, if the fish are sitting higher up in the water column, like they might have a nice thermocline there that they're sitting in, feel free to trawl this straight through the guts of them and pick up a few. It's going to be fantastic. But for me, I'm looking at more the cast and retrieve, adding in some pauses to allow that balsa to float up over the structure so you can keep fishing it through that structure as well. Another one for structure here, the Damiki M-Hull Turbulence spinnerbait. Spinnerbaits are a must-have in everyone's tackle box. So this is why we always like to include them, because I don't know about you, but I do go through a fair few spinnerbaits, either snagging them up, losing them, busting off to a big fish, etc. So I do like to have a good stock of spinnerbaits in different colors, different sizes to fish with. Spinnerbaits are so versatile. 90% of the time I'll have one tied on to one of my rods when I go fishing, no matter what species, be it cod or bass. Barra not so much, but cod, bass, yellas, I normally have a spinnerbait on at least one of my rods. So spinnerbaits with that V wire at the front makes it so it is fairly snag resistant. You can swim this through the snag and a lot of time it'll just bump over that log and keep on going. So a fantastic option for casting the edges and snags there. Now last but not least, this is kind of like a little combo we've got going here. We've got Charlie Brill's original sliders. One of my favorite plastics of all time. These have been gunned at some of my local dams over the years, but we've also included the Damiki Bait glass rattles. So it's just a little glass tube with a ball bearing inside of it, which you can actually slide up inside your soft plastic when you're rigging up your hook as well, just to give your soft plastic a rattle as well. So no longer is it just your hard bodies and your lipless crankbaits that are going to be vibrating, but you can add vibration to your soft plastics. Rig it weedless or with a straight through jig head, and you can fish it either the structure or the deeper water and you're laughing. And that's it for the Bass and Yellas box this month. If you want to check it out or any of the others in the range, just head to www.tackleclub.com.au. Pick a box that's right for you, and welcome to the club.